Hey everyone, how you doing today? It's me, David, coming to you from my whiskey den here in Central Ohio. Hope you're having a good day. It is a pretty decent day here in the mid OH. I want to do this video. I can't believe I've only done one other of this type of video, and that was in the autumn of 2021, so almost 2 years ago, and early on, in the history of this channel. Um, Basically, keeping it to bourbons, I feel like I always need to have on my shelf. The criteria is if I get into a panic, if I'm running low, and I am in a panic running low on some of these without a backup bottle. So let's kind of get this started. I do have honorable mentions on this list. And before I get into all that, I do want to say that when I did the first video, they were all pretty easily accessible bourbons. In this video, now that I have more than a couple of dozen bottles, I've got upwards of 170 something bottles of bourbon here in the whiskey den. It's amazing I was able to keep it to 7. Now this is 7 or so, and this is about the 7th or 8th time I've recorded this video, because I've been tweaking those selections, but I feel like I've locked in this magnificent 7. In my opinion, these are the bourbons that I will always want to keep here on my shelf. And believe it or not, this list is a bit different than the previous list. And I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one so you can see how things have changed a bit here in the whiskey den. So this is the summer 2023 edition of the whiskeys I need to keep here in the whiskey den for my enjoyment. And just because these whiskeys are here on the list doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the rest of what I have that I've sampled. I have a lot of bottles that I have not opened. Will I get into a panic if I don't have a backup bottle? That's kind of the criteria. So honorable mentions are going to be anything by Maker's Mark. So Maker's 46, Maker's regular 90 proof, Maker's 101. Honorable mention, won't panic. I can easily get that stuff. I do enjoy my really favorite pour. Anything Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey 101 is probably one of my all-around favorite top 5 bourbons. But I won't really panic if I don't have a backup bottle. I might when I run out, maybe in a couple of weeks after I run out, I might have to get another bottle, but I'm not going to panic. And then the third one on the honorable mention would be Very Old Barton 100 proof, which I can get down in Kentucky and out in Indiana. Affordable, won't panic. It's nice to have, not a big panic. And then the last one is honorable mention, Blue Note Juke Joint Whiskey out of Memphis, Tennessee, 93 proof. It's an excellent bourbon. I really enjoy it. Don't know if I will panic or not. I haven't gotten to that point. I've got a little over half a bottle sitting up there. So let's see what we got. And this is in no particular order, but I will say my favorite all-around bourbon, my favorite choice, is going to be in the number 1 spot. So everything else is tied for 6th place, I guess. I don't know. All right, so the ones that I'm actually, I'm going to start with is this Middle West Spirits Mickle One Reserve Straight Wheated Bourbon Whiskey, which is a misnomer. It is actually 4 grains. Sweet yellow corn, soft red winter wheat, dark pumpernickel rye, and 2-row barley, which is one of the smoothest bourbons, sub $40 bottle, here from Columbus, Ohio. And Yeah, and as you can see, I'm a fan of that. Really like it. Really enjoyable. Beautiful pour. Um, actually, my one of my I brought some bottles to my younger brother-in-law in California. My older brother-in-law, who I did not know enjoyed bourbon, sampled this, and he said he had to have a bottle. So a couple of months ago, I sent a bottle with my parents-in-law. So Jimmy, if you're watching and if you have gotten it and enjoyed it, please drop me a line. Let me know. So, all right, there we go. Okay, next one is Ezra Brooks 99, for 22 bucks. And all these prices I'm quoting are MSRP, which since Ohio is a state controlled liquor state, um, they sell the street price is MSRP. They don't jack up. They cannot by law jack up the prices. So anyway, 22 bucks. It previous to that there was a price drop. It used to be around 26, 27, but for 22 bucks, 99 proof, a beautiful pour, elegant, refined, really nice. I really like it. Yeah, that's something I, believe it or not, always want to keep here on the old whiskey den shelves. And I think I will get into a panic if I run down on that because I really enjoy it more than I thought I would. The next one, we are going to go with a high proof Old Grandad 114. That's around the 30-ish dollar mark right now. And it drinks like a nice, sophisticated bourbon. And don't let the Old Grandad name, or the fact that it's produced by Jim Beam, fool you or lull you into thinking it's not good. Surprisingly, all the Old Grandad expressions I've had, the 80 proof, the bonded, and this, excellent. This should be a top shelf choice. Hopefully, they won't catch wind and start jacking up the price to like 60 bucks for that because it drinks. Actually, all three of these so far drink like bourbons that are far above their street price point. The next one I've got is Bernheim Wheat Whiskey out of Heaven Hill, aged 7 years. I think it's 90 proof on that. So it's not a bourbon, it is a wheat whiskey. I do not recall what the mash bill is, but I think if I remember right, it's at least 51% wheat whiskey, which is kind of like let me see if there's anything in the little booklet. In there, measures only type of straight wheat whiskey. We use a soft winter wheat. So there we go. All right, I don't know. So there we go. Anywho, really good. I think it's around $30 right now, and should be easily found in your area. I know it's easily found here. The next one, Weller. Anything that says Weller on the label, I have a couple of bottles of this in backup. I've got one more bottle of the Special Reserve in as a backup. Really awesome. $50 on that. The green label Special Reserve is $23. And yes, those are the MSRPs. So if you're seeing like $500 for this in California or another state, you're overpaying. This is a solid $50 bourbon. Just about 7 years ago, it used to be $20. But, the Pappy Van Winkle connection and all that. So yeah. And actually, and twofold for this video. People ask, hey, what can I bring you? I'm coming to visit. What can I bring you? This is also a great gift-giving guide for me. So, and speaking of giving gifts, I picked up a bottle of this for a dear friend of ours, and $10 bottle, about $10. I think it's out 11 now. Benchmark, Yes, I like to keep that on my shelf. It is a good budget all around. Tasty bourbon, winner of so many of my bourbon battles, bottom shelf bourbon battles. And yeah, I always want to keep, if I had to keep one bottom shelfer on my shelves, it would be the Benchmark. Old number 8 recipe. They have, or no, old number 8 brand. And yes, there are different expressions of Benchmark now, like the small batch I have not tried yet. I'm looking forward to trying that with you on a future video. And then the last one, this is my all-around favorite bourbon. I must always keep Johnny Drum Private Stock on the shelf. This is my backup bottle, my bottle I've been enjoying. It looks like that. And that was just opened like 3 months ago. And so really it says a lot if I opened that recently, and that's already gone. 101 proof, beautiful bottle, beautiful pour, one of my favorites. And just about anyone who comes and does whiskey sampling, bourbon sampling here in the Whiskey Den, I always include that in the tasting, and everyone seems to go for it. And it's not available here in Ohio. So I do find it down in Kentucky, and I have seen it in other places around the country. It's around $40. It's between $35 and $40. So the private stock, Johnny Drum. So there you go, my 7 whiskey bourbon picks. When I will panic if I run out. Must always keep on the shelf. When I see it and I need it, these are the ones I want to get. So there you go. Hopefully it won't take me another almost 2 years to do one of these videos. So until next time, it's me, David, coming to you from my Whiskey Den here in Central Ohio. Hope your next pour is your best pour. We'll catch you soon, and thank you so much for watching. Hey everyone, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe so you can be notified of future videos as they drop. Thanks for watching.